Okay, guys, welcome back to the channel. Um, so we've got the Indra here, and to the best I can, I want to talk to you guys just a little bit because there's just so little information out there about this boat. I want to talk to you just a little bit about it. Go over some of the things that I found out about it with paddling it. They asked me, they said, hey, do you want to demo one? And I said, no. I said, I'll just buy one. And, you know, it's not that I'm a boat expert by any means, but, you know, I did set in the boat before I bought it, but that was basically it. Um, the thing has a huge bow rocker on it. I mean, it's a lot. I don't know for sure, but I feel like that it's more than even the code, and the code has a lot of bow rocker on it. So one of the things, so I brought the code out and the original ripper out. Had a ripper too for a while. But I think a lot of people's been in the Ripper 1 and there's a lot of people been in the code. And one of the questions that was asked to me was, okay, how does this boat, how does the Indra compare to the code? And so this is the medium large, which is 90 gallons. The small medium, I think it was like 73, 72, somewhere's in there. But this is full. This boat's this is a medium code, not the large, but the medium code. So this boat is 9 feet long. So it's a little longer. It's a little bit longer than the code is, and it has about 3 more gallons. I think this is a 87 gallon for the medium code. So 3 more gallons of volume in it. And you know, a lot of the stuff is the same. You know, your grab handles is pretty well the same. The width, I think the width may be just a little bit more on this boat than the medium code. Not by much, but the way the boat performs is very different than the code. The stability on the boat is very good. Initial stability, I mean, it's pretty well the same as the code. Secondary stability, this boat it's as good as the code, maybe just a little better on secondary stability, or at least that's how it feels to me. Now I've only made 3 laps in the boat, so it will take a little more time before I've got it all dialed in, and might as well just drink some Gatorade since it's in my boat. It will take a little more time for me to get completely used to this boat. I can't do 3 laps and know everything about the boat. I'm not that kind of paddler. So if you're wondering, well, you know, what kind of paddler are you? I'm basically a class 3, class 4 paddler. I've run a few class 5 rapids, but they're very select. I don't want to get hurt. I'm old. I don't heal very well. So I'm very cautious on, you know, just how jangly and mankly and just what the consequences are if things goes wrong with, especially in the class 5 rapids. Let me get a drink. So, outfitting wise in this boat is basically the seat pan is the same. They have changed the thigh hooks Um, some people will like the aggressive ones and some people won't. They send you two different ones. You can change them out, make it less aggressive. I've got the aggressive ones in this one. One thing that they've done is right here, they have the way they've redone their molding on this. So now there's a plastic piece right here that's smooth to carry the boat on your shoulder. It's really nice on your shoulder. This is the nicest of any of them that I've carried is this boat so far. So the big difference, so the front end, you know, it's great. If you watch the koi video, I went for every hole that I could hit. I hit everything. I did get flipped upside down at Double Trouble. I got just done like this and dumped, but the boat rolls up pretty easy. It's a pretty easy to roll boat. May not be quite as easy to roll as the Code, but it's not bad at all. They're both right there. They're both pretty easy to roll. There's other boats that's much harder to roll than this one. But the big difference in this boat is this tail, which is, you know, this is not a half slice. I think they're going to call this a quarter slice. This tail is phenomenal. There's good volume back here, both at the koi and then on the upper. This tail does not load up on you, especially sideways. I mean, I went into things that my tail would have definitely got loaded some in the Code, and it didn't do anything. I mean, it's like there's no tail back here almost. Like with the loading and the, you know, you way a curler will come across onto the backside, a diagonal. It just slips right through. I was amazed at that. Now, the one thing that I've not got used to yet is driving the boat and putting it exactly. I mean, I can get really close to being exactly what I want to do, and sometimes I just mess up. Sometimes it's just me. It's not the boat. But I've not learned completely yet how to engage the rails on this thing, and that's going to be the other great big difference is the rails. These rails are the sharpest rails that I've ever, you know, in any modern Dagger boat. They're pretty. It's a pretty sharp rail. I've been chewing on these with the upper and some koi laps. When you get it right, and when you get your weight distributed right, there was eddies that I hit that it just shot in really fast. I mean, it done more. I mean, I, you know, come across, hit, and would do at least a 180 and maybe a little more as it spun around. Then there were some eddies that I missed. That, you know, I didn't get the rail engaged and I just slid, you know, kind of blowed through. So I've been fooling around with it of my, you know, whether I was weighted forward, especially like in the eddy, trying to get my weight forward to engage the rail, engage it early on, and then, but you can definitely drive it off the tail, you know, as far as just, I did, you know, you can load it a little bit to lift it some if you know, dip the corner. But a very interesting boat. It's a very hard boat to describe. It seems like it has good speed to it. But how fast is it? I don't know. I mean, it's hard to tell. And I know that sounds funny, but sometimes it's very difficult to tell how fast the boat is. I'm sure that Wade Harrison is going to do a much better video than what I'm going to do, but for all you guys that are thinking about, well, you know, you've got the Soul Super Skipper that Wade done a review on. I've also got a comparison between it and this boat. I may post it, I may not. Then you've got the Watka Puffy Stees, and that's what, to me, that this boat's quite a bit like, is like the Puffy Stees. You know, if I could take the original Ripper and throw the front end of the code on a Ripper, then you would have, and leave the Ripper rails on it, the original Ripper rails, you're getting pretty close to what this boat feels like. With the exception is the Ripper's tail. Now I've got a large here, and most of the time the large tail don't load up too much on me. The medium definitely does, but the large, it don't load on me very often. Every now and again it will. This one I did not find. And one of the things else I forgot to mention is, so at the end of this tail, it's got a little bit of reverse rocker in it. So, you know, it's coming up and then it goes back a little bit. And for sure, what it does is it works. When I would go off into a hole like Troll Hole, you know, the front with so much rocker, you know, I wouldn't go deep, but, you know, it would kind of go down and hit and come up, and the back end, as that back starts coming out, where that reverse rocker is, it don't just load. It loads up a little bit, and it pushes you back down with the momentum. And that's, you know, the one difference I can say for sure with, you know, with just a few runs on it, this thing definitely surfs so much better than the code does. And coming out of a hole, like and I went into some sideways just to see what it was like, and this is more like coming out of a hole in a half slice versus a creek boat. Similar to, you know, you can get out much easier of a hole in a scorch as you can a code. But the tail sometimes loads up on the scorches sideways, where it don't in the half slices. So it's a super interesting design. I don't get to ride big water very often, except for when we get some significant rain. But I feel like that this thing is going to shine in big water. I think that it's, you know, do I think that am I going to ride it on Wilson's? Absolutely. I'm going to ride it on Wilson's. I ride the Ripper on Wilson's, my Firecracker on Wilson's. You know, some places that I'm not looking to take this at the moment. We've got a trip coming up. We're going to try to do the bottom half of Linville Gorge. Am I going to take this boat or the code? I'm going to take the code. The code is still, it's very super forgiving. It's confidence inspiring. It's the most forgiving creek boat that I've ever been in, is the code. So, you know, if you want more play, if you know, stern, you know, like a pivot turn, this one will perform much better, a little bit more speed, definitely surfs better, come out of a hole easier than this boat, you know, is going to be better than the code. I won't keep rambling on and on. One of the cool things that they did do is on the inside, I don't know if you can see it or not. You probably can't even see it. But so the color of the center and the bulkhead is blue. The green one that they've got, the color of it's green. So that's one of the cool things that they did. But you can kind of see, you know, I don't know if you can see it or not. But the seat and the thigh braces, or the hip pads, they're all the same. The back band's the same. I think it's a winner. I think Dagger's going to sell a lot of these boats, and I think there's a lot of people going to like them for years to come. Hey, if you've not subscribed to the channel, do. I would like to get to 1,000 subscribers, to at least where when they show ads on the channel, that I would get like a couple of pennies, enough to buy a few tacos, you know, on a paddling weekend. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I hope this rough review maybe help some of you guys and girls to decide if this is the boat for you or not. It's only going to come in 2 sizes, to the best of my knowledge. If you ask me how I got this boat, it was just I was in the right place at the right time. I wasn't intending on having one of these for quite some time. It's just one of those things. It just happened. All right, guys. We'll catch you guys next time. Bye now.